Phil had been saving for 3 months. Every coin from birthday money, from returned bottle deposits, and from the occasional job that Mum had paid him for. He kept it in a tin under his bed and he checked it most mornings. Now his friend, Coffee, had a plan, a business. He'd been making handmade key rings, clay, baked in the oven, hand painted, and then selling them at school for $2 each. He'd made $22 in a week. Phil was impressed. So Coffee's proposition: if Phil invested $10 into supplies, Coffee would make a batch of key rings and they'd sell them together and they'd split the profit 50-50. Phil said yes immediately. Without even thinking about it? Asked Gerri when he told her that night. I thought about it, said Phil, for about 4 seconds. Did you ask how much the supplies cost? Not exactly. Did you ask how long it takes to make them? And Phil was quiet. Did you ask what happens if they don't sell? More quiet. The supplies cost $14, not $10. Coffee had underestimated. Phil contributed his $10 and Coffee put in 4 of his own. They made 17 key rings over 2 afternoons after school, which took much longer than Coffee expected, because baking and painting and waiting for them to dry is a process that cannot be rushed, he said. On the day of the sale, they sold 9 at $2 each. So that was $18. Minus the $14 in costs, they had $4 in profit. $2 each. Phil had invested $10 and received $2 back. He'd lost $8. He didn't ask Mum for the money back. She didn't offer it. He checked his tin the next morning. $6.50. The number felt wrong. He'd had $14.50 3 days ago. He didn't say anything at breakfast, but Gerri noticed. Are you okay? She asked. I lost $8, said Phil. And Gerri thought about this. What would you do differently? Phil thought about it too. I'd ask more questions, he said, before I said yes. Gerri wrote that in her notebook. She didn't know why, it just seemed like something worth keeping. 2 weeks later, Coffee had a new idea, a different one. Phil sat across from Coffee at lunch. How much will it cost? Was the first thing Phil said. Coffee grinned. You've changed. Maybe, said Phil. How much? I want to step outside the story for a moment because there are 3 things happening in Phil's experience that I think are worth naming. Point 1. The cost of the mistake was manageable. First, he lost $8. Not 800, not 8,000. The consequence of Phil's impulsive decision was real, and it was painful, and it cost him weeks of saving. But it didn't cost him anything he couldn't recover from. That's the unique gift of childhood financial mistakes. They're cheap. Point 2. Nobody rescued him. His mother didn't replace the money. This is harder than it sounds. The instinct to cushion your child from consequence is powerful and loving, but the consequence is the lesson. If someone had replaced the $8, Phil would have learned that impulsive decisions are recoverable. That's not the lesson he needed. And point 3, he found the learning himself. So third, and this is the one I want parents to notice, Gerri asked Phil one question. What would you do differently? She didn't tell him what the lesson was. She asked him to find it. And he did. I'd ask more questions. That's his. Nobody gave it to him. It's going to hold in a way that a lesson taught from somebody else never would. The full Gerri and Phil's library lives at the Financial Adventure Club. If Phil's story resonated, if you found yourself wanting to know what happens next, how coffee reacted, what Phil's new idea turned into, there are dozens more stories waiting. Gerri's big decision, the time-twisting money mission, the stick man, the rainy evening challenge. Each one is built around a real financial concept delivered through characters your child will want to follow. The link is in the description. It's the place to go. And if you missed Tuesday's video, the one about the 10-year-old who made $2,000 from a lemonade stand, it's the companion piece to this one. Phil's story is about what happens when you say yes without asking the right questions. Tuesday's story is about what happens when you ask them all. Worth watching as a pair. Has your child ever made a financial decision they regretted? What did they learn from it? And did anyone help them find the lesson, or did they find it themselves? Tell the community below. And join the parent Facebook community I have set up, just for this kind of sharing. The link is below and in the bio. Let's get this party started. See you next time.